What is going on, you guys? Bash and YGO here, and today we're hitting up one of the coolest decks that's going to be hitting up this next format. So this is nothing essentially necessarily new, but it has been expanded upon quite a bit, and it actually top in here and there as far as, you know, regional tops and things like that. So I really want to go ahead and give this deck some love, and that is Tri-Brigade Sprite, guys. So with the banning now of Ronin Totem starting on October 3rd, which again, thank you for the free content, Konami. Well, not free, but you guys know what I'm saying. We get some updated deck profiles for you guys. So with, again, the banning of Ronin Totem means that essentially it hasn't really changed what Sprite can really do as far as its end board. It just changes the way that it has to go ahead and get to it. It's just essentially what you essentially need is just an additional extender on your board, right? But you can still go ahead and accomplish all these feats through other methods, which we'll go ahead and explore in more of the pure Sprite or runic Sprite deck profiles, which should be coming up here in the near future. But I did want to go ahead and tackle this because I was just playing with the Tri-Brigade deck. If you guys have not checked out my Tri-Brigade deck profile and the test hand video recently, so I really wanted to go ahead and see what this deck could really do. So I want to go ahead and splash it together. I've been testing it here and there, and honestly, I think this deck is really cool. Is it the best version of Sprite? I do not know if I'm going to go ahead and make that claim just yet. Just because there's a lot of things that I want to go ahead and test out. I want to see potentially like a spellbook Sprite might be something I could potentially do with Blue Boy. Blue Boy is a level 2. Spellbook of Judgment coming back, mix it with runics. That sounds really spicy to me. I haven't tested that theory just yet, so if it's absolute garbage, don't roast me just yet. I gotta test it. I gotta test it, so don't roast me just yet on that one. But guys, but yeah, so I just want to go ahead and get this out to you guys. Honestly, I think this is gonna be probably one of the most competitive versions of the Sprite deck, right up there with the pure, and right up there as well with the runic version. But I want to go ahead and get this out to you guys as soon as possible as well. So if you guys do enjoy these videos, go ahead and leave a like down below. Also, went through my my drawer, and we got the game day toys and games. If you're in New York, go ahead and check out game day. Quick plug for my boys there. But anyway, so if you guys do enjoy these types of videos, go ahead and let me know by smashing that like button, subscribe for more, and let's get right into the content, guys. Alright guys, so we're playing a lot of spells, not spells, we're playing a lot of monsters. Starting off with the monsters, guys, in this deck. Starting off with triple rescue cats. So why did I play 3 rescue cats? Because it's same reason as why you want to see this in your opening hand. We're playing pure Tri-Brigade, because you go full combo with this, and it's actually insane. But being able to have the versatility of being able to play with the Sprite engine as well, it gives you access to so many more lines of play that having Rescue Cat is just actually ridiculous. So I played 3 because you definitely just want to see it in your opening hand if possible. For your Tri-Brigades, we play 3 copies of Fractal, 3 copies of Kit, and the fun one is 3 copies of Kuras with only 2 copies of the Nerval. So why do we play this ratio? Is because we want to maximize on the good Tri-Brigade names, which by that essentially I mean the level 2s and the ones that get us there. So Tri-Brigade Fractal gets us there, and then we want to play the Kit and the Kuras for the Rescue Cat play, or if, because we still want to go ahead and be able to have enough copies of them so that we can, you know, go about our plays and go about our combos, things like that. So 3, 3, 3, 2. Nerval is still really good Tri-Brigade name, but it's unfortunately, because it is a level 1, it is just seen a little bit less. You're naturally going to be searching the Kuras and the Kit a lot more, and special summoning those off of like Gigantic Sprite to go ahead and be able to use their effects as well. So that is going to be the Tri-Brigade portion of the monsters. For the sprites, still play the pretty standard sprite package. 3 blue, 3 jet, 1 red, 1 carrot. I was testing out with 2 red, with Pick Season red, and I really didn't know which route was the correct one, to be honest with you. So I went ahead and cut the Pick Season over the Sprite carrots, just because I don't want to get impermed. And playing with Tri-Brigades is something that you really want to look out for the most. Is Veiler and Imperm are your worst nightmares essentially in this deck. So that's why I really want to go ahead and maximize on these. Is I believe this is a 40 card deck, so if you want to play 41, or maybe take out one of the blues and put in a Pixies, that's something I mean you can definitely do. And the reason why I say take out a blue is because a blue essentially just gets you to all these other pieces, but so does Jet. and Jet searches you a spell, which then lets you access any of them as well for free special summon. So that's kind of why, I mean, blue is, don't get me wrong, if you're going to be playing a pure Sprite deck or Sprite Runic or anything like that, you definitely want to go ahead and maximize on blue. But I really was this close to go ahead and cutting one of the blues to put in a Pixie. So if that's something you still want to do, definitely go ahead and go for it. It's something that I will not have anything weird to say. The one thing I do have weird to say is that because you are playing two different decks essentially together, the issue is that they both have restrictions and that you have to look out for them when you are playing, because essentially if you're going to be taking this to a competitive event, you need to make sure you understand what the restrictions are. When can you only summon Tri-Brigade names? When can you only search Beast Warrior, Wing Beast monsters? When can you only summon back level 2? Or when can, for the rest of the turn, you activate your Sprite starter? For the rest of that turn, you can only summon level 2, rank 2, link 2, so you cannot normal summon your, you can't special summon like Fractal, if that's something that you guys were looking for. So that is just something to keep in mind as well, guys, is that you really want to be aware of what the deck is doing and what you are doing with the deck, just because you don't want to, I want to say brick yourself, but I don't want you guys to run into a wall accidentally while trying to play this deck and accidentally like just lock yourself out of summoning out the biggest board possible. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. But that's gonna be it for the monsters, guys. Now on to the spells. Alright, so for the spells, guys, we play 3 copies of Sprite Starter, 2 Smasher. So the reason I play 2 Smasher is because, so in my Runic version of the Sprite deck, I really think maybe 1, if that is even necessary, just because if for your Mystic Mine out, you play Runic Destruction, which is already a searchable out. You play Runic Flashing Fire, which again is a searchable out to a lot of things. So there's no real need for a second Sprite Smashers, maybe to side it. But I think with this deck, you just want to have as many Mystic Mine outs, as many outs to problematic cards as possible. So I think double Sprite Smashers is really, really good. Also, I did forget to mention this during the monster part of the video, but I want to go ahead and get it out there as well. There are some really, really cool tech cards with this deck. There is a Wind Up Kitten, which is funny enough, it's like I think a $20 ulti or a $30 ulti right now. Which is the exact same for the only other version. I think is like a super rare version, so might as well pick up your ultis if you can. Depends on what what the price is when this video goes up, but I think that's really funny. But anyway, Sprite Kitten, I think it bounces like a monster your opponent controls back to the hand. So you summon that out with Gigantic Sprite and then activate Kitten effect, get rid of whatever your opponent has, and then go into Sprite Elf and special summon back the Wind Up Kitten and bounce something else back. I think that's really, really funny. And also, I think Hop Ear Squadron is another really good one as well. So there are some really, really funny, or not funny, but there are some fun techs you can play with this deck as well, just to make it a whole lot more entertaining. I mean, who knew Wind Up Kitten could be a potential staple in these types of decks? I just decided to put it in here because I wanted to keep it as less crazy as possible. So we played 3 copies of Forbidden Chalice, 3 copies of Dark Ruler No More, 1 Foolish Burial, and double Tenki. The second Tenki is in the mail. I actually did order it this time, guys. I know I've been saying that for a while, but just waiting for it to come in. So when that comes in, finally I'll be able to have that second Tenki. But it's neither here nor there. So the reason why we're playing Dark Ruler No More and Forbidden Chalice, because these are essentially board breakers, right? So these are the cards that are going to allow us to play the game going second, and it goes the same with our trap cards. I mean, trap cards is nothing too crazy, so I'm not going to have a whole like intro for it as well. So we play 3 Imperm and the 1 Revolt. 2 Revolt is just too much, but the same theory is for the Chalice and the Imperm. So you pretty much, I'm waiting for, if I'm going second and I draw into Imperm, I can just activate Imperm and negate something my opponent controls. That's problematic. Same thing with Chalice as well. Only issue is that they target, but I don't think there are enough meta cards in the game that say that they cannot be targeted right now for this not to be an insanely good meta call at the moment. So if you have Forbidden Droplets, maybe it's something that you guys want to consider, but I just like Chalice a whole lot more. Plus I don't have Droplets, so there's that as well. So that's definitely something to consider, but this is going to be I believe, like I said, a 40 card deck. So then the only things I would like to include in here somehow is potentially to include the Wind Up Kitten. If I'm going to a more competitive event, I probably would put in the Wind Up Kitten or test with that a little bit more. and potentially a Sprite Pixies in here somehow. Just because those cards are really good. But anyway, that's just, you know, my thoughts out to you guys. So it's gonna be it for the main deck, guys. 40 card main deck. Now let's get right into the extra deck. So for the extra deck portion of this deck, guys, we play 2 copies of Gigantic Sprite, and that's going to be the only Xyz that we actually play. So nothing too crazy as far as the Xyz monsters, guys. Just play 2 Gigantic Sprite. It's really going to be all you need. Sometimes it is nice to have a third one, but I mean, it's the same way in actual Sprite as well. But it should not actually get to that level. So let me go ahead and organize these properly. I probably just gave away the entire extra deck. But nothing too saucy, but I do want to go ahead and point this out to you guys. So we got 1 Bearbrum, 1 Ferrigit, 1 Silver Sheller, 2 Shurag for our Tri-Brigade links. Push these up a little bit. And then for the sprites, we played 2 Sprite Elf. Unfortunately, we don't have the space for a third one, so it is what it is. 1 Ancient Warrior, 1 Nightmare Cerberus, 1 IP Masquerena, 1 Pit Knight Yearly, which is a fun card that I've actually been missing quite a bit. I really like Pit Knight Yearly. 1 Access Code, and 1 Appaloosa, Bow of the Goddess. So this is going to be what you're primarily going to be ending on in the event that you don't activate the Sprite starter, just because, you know, Appaloosa and Tri-Brigade is like white on rice or peanut butter and jelly. It just goes together. So definitely want to go ahead and put the Appaloosa in there, and the Access Code Talker for the any OT case. But honestly, final thoughts on the deck, guys. It's deck that is actually pretty consistent. Even if you just have Tri-Brigade plays, I mean, Tri-Brigade's a deck that can pretty much hold its own, even if it is for just a turn or two while you're still trying to draw your sprites. And if you have just a sprite hand, I mean, you are able to go into Gigantic regardless of what you draw, which will allow you to have access to both engines in your deck. That's why I didn't really want to play cards like Pot Prosperity or Pot Desires. Because no matter what you draw, you should always have access to both engines. So that's something I definitely really like about the deck overall. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for the deck profile. If it's something that you guys do enjoy, if you guys like this deck profile, let me know by smashing that like button, subscribing for more. I'll be uploading a combo tutorial tomorrow, so go ahead and stick around for that. If you guys want to go ahead and check that out as well. But anything else you guys want to go ahead and see, especially with the new ban list, any deck profiles, choose ready code tricks, try definitely let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll be getting that to you as soon as possible. But without further ado, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.